Hello there, hi there. For me, it's the morning. So, good morning. How have you been? Oh, really? Good. Good to hear. Or maybe that was bad to hear. Either way, I think that's why we're here. To study some type of psychology. I mean, yes, this is psychology. We're looking at basically from an onlooker's perspective of how society will treat a patient who is looking for any type of counseling, grieving, addictions, trauma, PTSD, whatever your case may be, whether if you do or do not have a case. Everybody does suffer on the spectrum. The spectrum being the autistic spectrum, the spectrum being the psychological, of course, the mental. Because we are all, everyone in the world, cannot get away from some type of degradation of mental health. Nobody is up to par. It's either you're really playing a mind game with everybody, and mostly everybody plays a mind game because they live in their own little world, the way that they perceive it, such as, I believe that I am the truth and there's nothing else but me as the truth. I am the only truth. And what kind of ignorant denial is that? That's a willful ignorance. And I guess we can go into saying how dumb and complacent you are about being this way. But nobody really digs deep within themselves that I have seen. It's really mostly all just shallow. What you see is what you get. So that is why most people in society will just judge you on your looks, your body language, your style, or your lack of style, whoever they are, looking at you. You know, when you go into public, everybody is thinking a different thought. But really, they're all thinking the same shit. Everybody's like an individual, right? You put that in quotations, an individual. But we're all like, it's all like the same kind of bullshit. And how I would know that for a fact is, and I can't be placing myself, I'm smarter than anybody, but for me, this individual, I have really looked into the minds of fucking everybody. I kind of set myself apart, and I really gave myself a task. That task was to see what is in the mind as a psychologist, to see who and what is everybody thinking? Why do people do the things they do? Why do people, for instance, you would call this immaturity, somebody that would do something and have no idea what the outcome would be, but they would still do it even if it was very harmful or dangerous to do it. And then they go, uh-oh, I shouldn't have done that. But, you would think, well, wouldn't you have a thinking process to look at the different outcomes, whatever they may be, and there are consequences, and then they can just make up another lie to cover the other lies that they have infected other people. And then it's just another circle, another cycle that keeps going and going and going and going. You're the fucking Energizer Bunny, aren't you? But you're gonna run into a fucking wall eventually. There's gonna be something that's going to hold you up, and you won't be able to get over it. And then what? You're gonna need the police to come and save you from your own actions and words and projections that you put outside of yourself into others whom you probably don't know or don't know that well. So that is very, very unintelligent. And it gets to a person like me. And so I have really actually set myself apart from everybody in the fucking world. I do not see myself as somebody who is in society. So then there are a whole bunch of words that would go along with that. If you just judge someone simply on that statement that I've just made. That's why we have to really kind of I have to discuss this bit by bit, section by section, and let's just fucking go inside my brain and see, what problems are there. There's problems. Oh, there's problems. But at least I can decipher the outcomes before I would take action on anything. I'll just do something willy-nilly. And it's I'm just playing Jenga. Dude, you are playing Jenga. And it's all gonna come tumbling down. You're fucking Humpty Dumpty. Humpty Dumpty what? Humpty Dumpty took a pretty big spill, did he? And then what? He was dead. Then all the king's horses and all the king's men, they couldn't put Humpty back together again. Well, how do you do that? I mean, that's the psychology, isn't it? That's in particular, I have not looked up this. This is just kind of off the cuff, on the fly kind of discussion I'm having here. And I like to think about things like this. And so then Humpty is an egg, right? And he falls off and just splat, and there's fucking egg all over the place. Yeah, that's it. You're done. With some things, you cannot fix them. It is completely destroyed. You thought you were safe. But man, you're on drugs. Obviously he was on drugs. He was I can fly, I can fly, Peter. And he just fucking falls because he can't fly. In reality, you can't fly. But soon we're going to be talking about the Matrix and how you can fly in the Matrix. No, you can't. Well, you can't. But what is that? What the fuck is that? That's a discussion for another time. A huge discussion for another time. I'm flying all the time, man. I got fucking powers in my fucking mind. Oh, well, you're in your mind, so you're delusional. I guess we should call this a rant. This section of the video. Hey, rants are good, okay? It's not necessarily a rant, but it is a rant. It's a discussion. I'm just talking out loud. I'm just working through things. This is a part of the morning voice. Hello. Welcome. I've been up for a little while now. It's about 8 a.m. And I just thought I'd do another segment here for fun. Just for fun. This is for fun. No one's really joining me in this, and that's why I feel like I have a lot of solitude here. It's I could think, if I go live, It's like a completely different situation. People are going to be interrupting me, saying stupid shit that has nothing to do with what I'm trying to do. So when I do go live, that's going to be a whole different thing. It'll just be like, you're a bunch of fucking robots. I don't know. You know, like you're all just a bunch of fucking, one of those robots in short circuit, right? Like I'm Johnny Five, and you guys are like all the evil robots. You're fucking evil robots. I don't know. Anyway, or it's vice versa, or you think I'm the evil robot. Whatever it is for you, whatever it is for me. Isn't that we can share our ideals and opinions and the differences between us and agree to disagree and not be so argumentative towards each other? I think we can accomplish this. But anyway, so I've taken a lot of counseling in my life. I've been to the psych ward in the hospital. I'm not there now anymore. It's been a long time. It's been a while since I've gone there, and there's really no point for me to do those things that would put me there again. To go forward instead of going backwards. Sometimes you got to take a couple steps back and see what's going on around you. Take a look at your life, and what are these? There's some touch-ups here. You got to touch that up. You got to fix that. You got to do this, and it's going to take time. It's going to take pressure. You're going to be angry. You're going to be confused about shit. But that's, we're going to be talking about meditation here. We're going to be talking about breathing. You're going to hear me breathe when I'm doing nothing. Because it's good to breathe, if you didn't know. Go for a walk. Have a good breath. I heard the word stigma in my mind, and I do have a stigma. Let me just get a drink of water. Thank you. I don't know why I said thank you. A drink of water. A little bit of water. But a stigma. I've really dealt with stigma in my life. And it just stems from, when you're young. It comes from when you're young. Like we could do a Sigmund Freud session here. And your mother and your father, and how were you treated when you were younger? And as you grew up, were you bullied? Did people treat you unfairly or meanly, or excessive violence perhaps? And then how did you survive that? And what did it take to fucking survive all that shit? So I'm kind of like, in my mind, it's like, in the past, the past always comes back to haunt you in your mind, and those like bullying thoughts are always there. Not always, but they tend to come back when you're dealing with a stressful situation. A bully that bullied you, a friend that wasn't a friend, it was a backstabber, and you had tons of those. Girlfriends that cheated on you. Your parents, family doesn't hear you, what you say. It's so difficult to fucking even exist around them. For me, I can't. That's why I say I'm fake and it's a script. I have imposter syndrome, and I would really like to get into that, because they just make me feel so unbelievably false. It doesn't matter if I was hurt or wounded or hospitalized or I'm in danger of myself because my mental health is so drained and I'm feeling weak, and Now it's time for the meditation. Do the breathing exercises. Exercise those thoughts out of your mind. Those thoughts that no longer serve you. Those are only viruses that and attachments from people from your past that mean nothing. Especially when it's family members. Because you can just throw people out of your life. If it's harmful for you, if it's hurting you, you can just meh, you're gone. That's it. You're out. I don't fucking need you around because you're really going to bring me down. And that's going to be an expensive counseling sessions. And did you know that just an average counseling session is $100 a session? And if you did 20 of them, come on. It's a little expensive. So the stigmas that I have from family and friends and yada 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 all really come from the same source. Is how I see it. So when you go into a counseling session, there's a patient screening. Before a patient becomes a patient in any type of addiction counseling program, they must first determine if the patient is a good match for the program in question. So if they're following the rules, which most people are quacks, they're fucking stupid ducks, and they're not following the good rules. They'll do so. Say you have to go to counseling because you were charged with something, whether it's true or false. It's mandatory and it's forced upon you, which it has been forced upon me. And by the way, how the hell can you make someone do that when it's against their will? Of course they're just going to say, oh, I'm fine, everything's great, thank you. Oh, wow, thank you for your help, you've been a great support. Duh, dude. So it's you can't force people, especially when it's perhaps I did nothing wrong. Perhaps I was defending myself. Perhaps someone else was threatening me with violence. And all types of ridiculous types of situations that you don't care about. And so then they'll all, of course, gang up on you. And so how can that one person be the problem? The one out of many. I think, if it's not looked into, then that is serious malpractice. Then you are seriously harming someone. And no wonder there are so many suicides that go on every day. Meaningless suicides. Because family is stupid. Everybody's stupid. So everybody's ignorant. Everybody is dumb as fuck. And so you have to be your own counselor. You have to evaluate yourself. You have to work on yourself to identify your disorder. A disorder. Everybody is in disorder. And most people don't get that problem solved. And that's pretty sad, I think. I think those quote-unquote individuals are fucking sad. Quite. And none of it is really private. Because they will say it's anything you say to us, as long as it's not suicidal threats or anything, that it will be a private conversation. But it isn't. They will talk to your family, and then if your family has a big mouth, they will blab, 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 blab it on to everybody else, and then everybody will know. I mean, like, who cares whether if they are caring for you or not? Because if they care, then they'll be there to help. Whatever they could do to help emotionally support. But even my family has told me, we don't want that drama. What fucking drama? You fucking a-hole. It's like the people that say that to you are the people that are the problem in question. It's very questionable that people would treat you like this. Treat you like you're the one. You're the one with a huge anger problem. They throw all of this at you. Anger. You are a drunk. If your family's religious, you're not like us. You're so unstable. Because look at us. Look at us. Look at us in our life. How stable and how functional our ideas are of how to be a well-groomed person. Grooming, by the way. Never let anybody groom you, show you, make you, psychologically abuse you to act a certain way so that they can look like the heroes. So I put my foot down. And so even if everybody in my fucking life walks away from me, fine. Because I'm a bigger person than they are. I've been through more experiences than they have. I'll put them all together. I'll put you all together. Fam. My family, brothers and sisters. Mom and dad. Because that's where you have to start. So then that must make me a really intelligent human being. I must be the fucking one. You must be the one if you have gone through all of this and ended up not so bad. So, this is like a screening. I'm your counselor. I am my own counselor. This is what this fucking is. You're talking to somebody who's been there, who's done that. Been there, done that. Been there, done that. So I have the answers inside my mind. Maybe a lot of it is buried deep because of the trauma, because of the social anxiety, because of the mistrust and emotional abuse that makes you so watered down. And who can understand that? Because you have to go through all a lifetime. You have to go through that lifetime to get it. And so, you will find that co-occurring disorders are extremely common with many people. These include medical, psychiatric, physical conditions. For instance, if you might have a person with bipolar disorder and drug addiction, You might have a patient with depression and addiction, or perhaps chronic pain and addiction. And all of these conditions need to be identified and then addressed to treat the whole person. So that is like step 1 in the 12 core functions. So we got to do some more studying. This is gonna take a fucking minute. If you're with me. All right. Thank you for listening. Have a great day.